Welcome to another episode of Bad Kid Garage. Well, today it's raining outside, so I can't do any work on the truck out here in the driveway. So what I'm going to do is go into the garage and work on the transmission. And that's a NP 435 transmission, which is new process 435. I'm going to replace a couple of seals on it, a couple of gaskets, and put a quart of GL4 in it while I put it up for storage. So let's go in here and I'll show you all the parts that I've gotten for it, and we'll get started. So here's the transmission. I have cleaned it and I've put some paint on it just to kind of for storage. Well, I have it put up, as you can tell. I've taken this little, I've got this part right here somewhere ordered. It should be in a few days. And also, I have loosened up this bolt here, which this, I guess that's a nut. That is a 1 5/16 socket. So we're going to replace the seal that's down here. And then this gasket that goes under this plate here, we'll replace that. And this little magnet actually goes inside the transmission. I'm going to clean that up with some brake cleaner. Put that down back in the bottom of the transmission. And that's what collects all the little pieces of metal. It had a little bit of metal on it, but it didn't have a whole lot. And there wasn't any big chunks or anything in the bottom of the transmission, so I think I'm good on that. So that's the transmission. Now let me show you all the parts that came with it. Well, these are the parts that I ordered. They didn't come with it, but this is some of the gaskets and seals I'm going to try to be using today. This is for the top side. These are for the little plate that I showed you that I was fixing to change. This right here goes to this. And these, you get like 4 of these gaskets in a set. And basically what those go to is on the other side. Down here, well, I'll show you here in a little while. There's a sleeve that you have to take off where you throw out bearing rods on. And you have to have maybe a couple of those gaskets to get the right distance. It wasn't leaking from there, so I'm not real for sure if I want to take that off and replace it with those gaskets just yet. This is some Redline MT90 GL4 Girl. I got this online, but that's not what I'm putting back in it. I'm gonna put GL5 back in it. This is just for storage, that oil is. And then over here is the rest of the gaskets that came in the set. I guess since this transmission I think was in Dodge trucks and Ford trucks, 4-wheel drives, and different trucks like that, it comes with all this set of gaskets. I guess so they cover all their bases with them. I also ordered this, which I'm not putting in the truck today. This will be one of the last things I put in it. This is the little set that holds your shifter down in the top side of the transmission and a new boot. I got that on eBay. Also, I think I got this gasket set on eBay. And then this is some stuff I'm gonna be using today. These are the little bolts that were, I guess they're here. See, there's 8 of them. I took one out. I think these were supposed to have some sort of washer on them, but they weren't much of them, the little flimsy ones. So I got this set of lock washers over here. I don't want to be tightening down these bolts and it start tearing up the aluminum housing, so I'm going to put these lock washers on there to prevent that. And I just got some ultra black to use as a gasket sealer. I got some Permatex lock thread locker, because you can tell there's a little bit of blue on here, so I'm guessing from the factory they put a little bit of thread locker on it. So I'm gonna put just a dab on it, and that's what I'm gonna help use to spread my sealant around. But that's the paint I use to paint the transmission for now. I'm just painting it for storage. I'm probably gonna paint this transmission silver when I'm all done. I'd rather have a lightly colored transmission than this black, so in case I ever do maybe start getting a leak somewhere, I'll be able to pick it up right away. You have black oil, black transmission, you may not see it as easy. Well, let's get started on taking this down. All right, I've slipped out this connection for the drive shaft, and I've also removed this seal. I bought this seal puller at Harbor Freight for like $8. Worked out pretty good. Here's the old seal. Here's the new seal that I'm going to put in it. I'm also going to take this rear part of the transmission out, I guess. But here's these bolts. I've watched a couple of videos where people have broken these bolts off of these transmissions. I always like to put a socket on it, and then instead of just prying the heck out of it, I hit the hammer on the back of my socket, try to act like a little impact wrench. But it seems to do better that way than just putting a big pry bar on it and then cranking on it and then snapping that bolt off in there. So I'm gonna continue doing this so I can get down in here and check out the bearing that's down in here and get this all cleaned up and resealed. Well, now that I've got that off, I wanted to get in here and look at these bearings right there. They look like they're in pretty good shape. Spline here, I guess, that's for the speedometer cable. It all looks pretty good. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna clean this up really well, and then I'm gonna reseal it. And then here's the other side of it. So you can see that gasket that's on it. I'm gonna have to really get that off of there. I wanna make sure both surfaces are clean and dry before I put this new gasket on it. And that's for your speedometer cable input. And it'll be a little bit easier this time. While it's off, I may throw a couple of little coats of paint on it. This is a transmission mount. I'm gonna replace it so I'm not worried about cleaning it up. Well, as you can see, I got the transmission put back together. Right here. I didn't replace any of the seals on this bottom right here. I didn't replace the seals on that because in that is some needle bearings, and I didn't want to take that apart and that thing all fall apart on me. So it wasn't leaking to begin with. I just wanted to replace some of these rear seals and the one in the front. So I did replace the gaskets in this one just to inspect where the speedometer cable hooks into. And then here's the top side. I trimmed my gasket so it wouldn't be sticking out. Once I got it on there, before I painted it, I trimmed all that gasket back. And like I said, I do have a new one of these. I just have this in there for now, just so I could keep the shifter in it, make sure it went through all the gears, make sure all that was set back in right. And then in here, I pulled these 4 screws out, and there is a seal in there. It's kind of a booger to get out, but I just be real careful and don't scratch up that race that bearing rides on in there. I did use 3 of the seals to get the correct spacing. So, but once I got that seal out, I just kind of replaced it with a new one, kind of tapped it in a little bit, and it finally went in. It was kind of like I said, a booger to get out, but it probably took about 15 minutes I had it out of there. And there's the other gasket I put on there. I did leave this factory, I guess it's an information plate on it, so that way I didn't want to throw it away, it came with it. So But thanks for watching. This video is probably going to be pretty short because there's just not much to it. And please like and subscribe. And if you have any questions or about it, I wanted to take some pictures or some videos as I was going through it, but I should have had on some gloves. My hands got all dirty, so I didn't want to keep grabbing my phone, making videos and get my phone all dirty. I'll try to do better next time. But if you got any questions about it, like I said, that part should be coming in any day now. It's just a dust boot, and then I'll get that put on there. But I'm just storing it now, so that way it's done. I don't have to worry with it no more. I'm just gonna put it up till I get the engine ready to drop back down in the truck, which is gonna be a while. Probably this fall or this late summer before I'm ever ready for that. So, but yeah, like and subscribe it. If you got any questions, just put them below. Or if you got a trick that you know how to do about these transmissions or any information about them other than I haven't discussed, post it down there too. And y'all have a great day.